I just want to reiterate something that has been said on these YouTube streets. I'm going to say it again. Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mom, who was an activist, she died at 69 from a possible cardiac arrest in Sausalito, California. Russell Poole, the former LAPD detective who was the main investigator in the March 9th, 97 shooting death of B.I.G., he died suddenly from a heart attack while meeting with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's homicide investigators to discuss a cold case. He was rushed to the Los Angeles area hospital where he was pronounced dead. Do you see what I'm getting at? I'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's jump right into this. The point I was making in the beginning of the video, those who didn't catch on, you notice when people get a little too close or make people nervous, they end up passing away due to a supposed heart attack, brain aneurysm, drug overdose, pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying now? Okay, let's get into this content. This is a part of what I said in the other video about, the video titled Tupac Was Pissed. And I said I'm doing some more research because some things just not adding up to me. Well, I stumbled across some more articles that I am presenting to you guys. Articles. These are not something I've written on my own. This is not something I wrote on my own. This is not some kind of theory, some kind of theses. This is information coming from actual articles that were published back in the day. So let's move forward. Also, what I wanted to add about the Detective Poole, he also suspected that Knight, with the help of an LAPD officer named David Mack and another associate, was responsible for B.I.G.'s death as retaliation for Tupac. He also believed that the death row moguls staged Tupac's shooting to avoid paying the rapper millions of dollars in royalty. I also wanted to point out how Afeni and Detective Poole suddenly died from heart attacks. You notice when, that's the method of operation to me, in my opinion. When people start getting nervous and scared, that's how people suddenly just become unalive by aneurysm, brain aneurysm, heart attacks, pneumonia, and things like that. Okay, let's get into this article. Tupac apparently once yelled at Suge Knight over a sizable check owed to him for a movie he starred in. Director Rahimi, who was behind the iconic Tupac music videos like Hit 'Em Up, two of America's Most Wanted, and How Do You Want It, as well as the 7 Days documentary, recently sat down to reflect on the late rapper's relationship with Suge and Death Row Records. Rahimi claimed that he witnessed Tupac screaming at his then label boss after he took a $700,000 check that he earned for his role in the 97 film Gridlock'd. A lot of people have said they were like brothers or whatever. I only got to see the experiences of him yelling and screaming either at Suge or Death Row employees trying to find out where his money was, he said. Pac was supporting like 40 people. Pac's family was not small, right? He was supporting a lot of MFs. Because at one point I remember hearing that Tupac's $700,000 check for acting in Gridlock'd had also gone to Suge, and Tupac was on the phone yelling and screaming about, "Why the F my movie money going to you?" Friendships and brotherhoods and all that's great, but if your business and your money is not good, come on, bro. You got to feed your family. This is what the director is saying. The director continues, "We know posthumously that all those things that Tupac thought he owned, he ain't owned any of it. And there was real estate bought in his name in Miami. Everything he had, the house in Calabasas and the house on Wilshire, those were all rentals. He thought he owned all that." Pac was weekly on the phone chasing his money with Death Row over Suge. Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal previously claimed that Tupac had suspicions that someone at Death Row was stealing money from him, implying the culprit hired dirty cops to carry out his murder in order to silence the rapper. What's the root of all evil? Money. I'm gonna correct that. No, money is not the root of all evil. It's the lust and the love of money that is the root to all evil. I wish when people say that, please say it right. Please say it right. Please say it right. Money does not cause you to do anything. It's what you already have in your heart. Money just helps bring it out. Because you already had that lust. You already had that burning desire for money that would cause you to do anything to keep it or to get it. Let's continue. He said in a separate interview, somebody wanted control of some money. Some people were spending money that they shouldn't have been spending. Some people were stealing money that they shouldn't have had. They shouldn't have been stealing. Some people had money that they should not have had. I think if I heard correctly, Tupac put an audit in 2 or 3 weeks prior to his murder and started firing people and trying to figure out where his money was at and where it was going. So now if you've been stealing money and you inside and everything could be connected to you, what are you going to do? As for his own relationship with Tupac, Rahimi explained how he met the All Eyes on Me rapper during an interview with Canvas Rebel magazine earlier this year. "I met a girl in a wine tasting in Orange County that used to produce gangster rap videos," he said. "Within a month, I was going out with her, moved in with her in LA, and started out as a production assistant, then a production manager, and then a producer of gangster rap videos. She also introduced me to Tupac, for whom I had an immediate affinity. He saw something special in me that no one else had ever seen. The thing about working with rap videos is that it gives you the ability to problem solve and put out fires continuously." I had some comments. I was commenting to another person in the video on, I believe it's on the video where it's titled "Tupac Was Pissed." This person, I don't know. I'm not going to say. Well, basically, we were going back and forth in the comments, and I was trying to get him or her to understand that when it comes to large amounts of money and you're dealing with people who have no boundaries, they might not have a moral compass, they're liable to do anything to keep what they have if it's threatened to be taken away from them. Or they're threatened to be exposed and then possibly go to jail. So you don't know what a person is willing to do when it's found out that they have been doing something underhanded. So let's get on to this next article. It's an article about Afeni Shakur, mother of Tupac, who died at 69 at her home or in Sausalito, California. I don't know if that was her home. It starts off saying, Afeni Shakur Davis, former Black Panther political activist and the mother of the rap legend Tupac Shakur, died Monday at a hospital near her home in Sausalito, California. She was born Alice Williams in 1947. Shakur was a member of the Black Panthers Party, along with Tupac's father, Billy Garland, becoming a respected and indispensable figure in the party. Interviews, she revealed she specialized in raising bail money for jailed Panthers while operating alongside Geronimo Pratt, who would later be named Tupac's godfather. 69 Shakur and 20 members of the party were jailed while facing trial on bombing charges in New York. Shakur was pregnant with Tupac at the time. She and other members of the Panther 21 group were eventually acquitted after an 8-month trial and released from prison in May 71. The following month, she gave birth to Tupac in Harlem, New York on June 16, 71. Then it goes on. I go into another interview I just wanted to talk a little bit about her background. So this woman was no joke. So I want to go into an article that's talking about Tupac's missing money, and the mother was looking for it. The article was published in 1997. On September the 14th, 1996, 7 days after gangster rapper Tupac Shakur was cut down in drive-by shooting near the Las Vegas Strip, his mother, Afeni Shakur, 50, went back to the family home in Stone Mountain, Georgia, to sort through her son's belongings, including the now infamous 3-page handwritten contract he signed from prison with Death Row Records CEO Marion Suge Knight almost 12 months early. So this dude Tupac only had 12 months. Okay, let's go on. Even in grief, Afeni, a former Black Panther activist, was angry as hell. The contract locked Tupac into a Faustian deal with Knight. For those who don't know what Faustian mean, it's said like signing or making a deal with the devil. Who agreed to put up Tupac's bail money in exchange for his signature on the 3-album, $3.5 million plus contract. Where were all the advances and royalties the contract promised? Moreover, how could her son produce 3 CDs in the last year of his life, sell reportedly more than 60 million worth of records, enough to make him one of the top-selling domestic artists, yet still wound up with alleged several $million in debt to Death Row? Singers among all the various species of celebrities seem to have a particular or peculiar affinity for financial calamity. Performers as diverse as Tom Petty, Hammer, TLC, Meatloaf, and Wayne Newton were all set for life only to later declare bankruptcy. But Tupac's post-mortem financial saga, which has sprouted a handful of lawsuits, overshadows them all. Tupac died intestate without a will. His mother had to file court papers establishing herself as the administrator of his estate and the sole living heir. While he was alive, Tupac supported Afeni with more than $16,000 a month. Now she is concerned about protecting her son's memory as well as her own future. Soon after Tupac's bizarre and so far unsolved murder, Afeni called a lawyer she trusted, New York trial attorney Richard Faustian. Years earlier, he had advised her when she represented herself and won acquittal of 156 counts related to blowing up police stations and other public buildings in the 70s. The attorney flew out to Los Angeles. He found that the rapper, who died at 25, had barely anything to show for his chart-topping career. No mutual funds, no IRA, no real estate. Tupac didn't even own his Woodland Hills, California home. There was only a 5-figure life insurance policy. The beneficiary was his half-sister. 2 cars and a single checking account that combined less than $150,000. Court fees and taxes would consume that quickly. The situation was so bad that when a young woman named Jacqueline McNeely, paralyzed by a stray bullet during a Tupac concert in Arkansas, sued Tupac and asked for $16.6 million in damages, no one showed up in court to defend the estate. Death Row has contended that it was Tupac's own prolific spending that left him so broke. There may be more than an element of truth to this. For example, Tupac spent wallet loads of money on a lifestyle that led him into trouble and lots more on defense attorneys to fend it off. Even at his death, he was out on bail paying a criminal law firm to appeal his 18-month to 4.5-year prison sentence for misconduct against a woman in a New York City hotel room. Furthermore, death row sources have reportedly said that the label advanced large sums of cash to Tupac for everything from recording and video calls to cars and furniture. 2013, an article said Tupac's mother settles claim against Suge Knight. The mother of deceased rapper Tupac reached a settlement over the $2.2 million she said her son's estate is owed in the bankruptcy case of Death Row Records founder Marion Suge Knight. Afeni Shakur, whose son was murdered in '96 at the age of 25, would receive a claim of $668,121.76 in Mr. Knight's bankruptcy case under a deal that a bankruptcy judge approved earlier this month. Court papers show Mr. Knight and Death Row filed for bankruptcy protection in '06, and the case wound on. The claim that the settlement towards Mr. Shakur is in the amount of an arbitration award she won for Death Row's breach of a '03 settlement agreement related to the unauthorized distribution of her son's songs. She had also sought at least $500,000 for the unauthorized licensing for certain songs, $750,000 in attorney fees, and at least $300,000 in lost profits. As the head of her son's estate, Shakur has sought to keep a tight grip on the use of his song's image and name, as well as to release additional songs. The deceased rapper returned to the stage last year, albeit as a virtual version of himself, in a highly publicized performance with fellow Death Row Records alumni Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. You would never ever catch me watching a virtual concert of an artist who is deceased. I think it's creepy as hell. And that is so sad that you would do that just to make money. Ugh. Let's continue on another article I discovered. And this is an article of a police officer who was there trying to tend to Tupac after he had gotten shot in Vegas. And he was trying to get some information to help locate the person who did this to him. Check out what he said. These are Tupac's last words. The article is from 2014. The first police officer at the scene of Tupac Shakur 96 drive-by murder has revealed the last words spoken by the late rap legend. They're not exactly peaceful. He looked at me and he took a breath to get the words out, and he opened his mouth, says Chris Carroll, a retired sergeant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, in a new feature with Vegas 7. And then the words came out, F you. It just goes on to repeat what happened. He had the rapper and his bodyguards had got into a fight with a 24-year-old Crip gang member, Orlando Anderson, in the lobby, and Carroll, who worked with the city's bike patrol unit, had also been watching the same Mike Tyson fight, but was unaware of the brawl taking place in the lobby. Later, a white Cadillac pulled up beside Knight and Shakur while they were stopped at a traffic light, and one man began shooting out the back window. Carroll was the first officer to respond to the grisly scene. So I grabbed him with my left arm. He falls into me, and I've still got my gun in the other hand, the officer tells Vegas 7. He's covered with blood, and I immediately noticed that the guy's got a ton of gold on, a necklace and other jewelry, and all the gold is covered in blood. That has always left an image in my mind. And as Suge is yelling, Pac, I look down and I realize that it's Tupac Shakur. Elsewhere in the Vegas 7 story, Carroll says he attempted to get a die-in declaration of a potential suspect from Shakur, but the rapper was ignoring him at first. And then I saw his face and his movements. All of a sudden, in the snap of a finger, he changed. He says he went from struggling to speak to an I'm at peace type of thing, just like that. And that's when I looked at him and said one more time, "Who shot you?" I thought I was actually going to get some cooperation. And then the words came out, "F you." So why is Carroll coming forward with information in 2014? 2 reasons. Retiring from the Metro has allowed him the freedom to speak about the homicide case without being reprimanded. It's almost 18 years, he says. There's clearly never going to be a court case on this. And Carroll doesn't want Pac to be seen as some martyr or a hero because he told the cops, "F you." That part, they could have left that little paragraph off. It sounds petty.
Well, don't be thinking highly of Tupac because I was trying to help him and he told me, "F you." So, yeah, my feelings are still hurt 18 years later.
Come on now. You already know the relationship Tupac had with the police department. You already know how he felt about police. And he was very passionate about his brothers and sisters in the hood who he felt, get harassed and done wrong by police. He didn't have to put all cops in the same category because fortunately there are some good cops. But unfortunately, black folks don't really get to see that side of the police department. I'm just being real with you. Those who do not like to hear or handle realness, then there's nothing I can do for you over here. If you want people blowing smoke up your anus and just coddling you and trying to shelter you from things that might sound or seem uncomfortable, you are on the wrong channel. So, those are a few of the articles that I have researched and a part of the series that I'm going to keep bringing to YouTube, to share some light on some things that, like I said in the other video, don't add up to me. And when Tupac was alive, I was into Tupac. I don't know too many people who wasn't. But be real with you, he did start irritating a lot of people because it seemed like one minute he was this, dear mama and keep your head up, giving props to, speaking up for black women or women in general. Then next minute he was thug life and he was this and and every time you looked around, he was in some kind of trouble. So Tupac was very complex. But to me as a rapper, I don't think I like any other rapper besides him. I mean, like I like his style. I liked his lyrics. I just liked his whole persona. Except the 1 minute you want to be studious and, like I said, an advocate for the life of black folks in America, and then the next minute you want to, you want to be thug, you want to be street. It's like you got to choose, got to make a choice. But other than that, there's no other rapper that I think I like today. There's no other rapper that I like as much as I like Tupac. I don't listen to his raps like that, but I don't think there's any rapper to come close to him. You guys have your favorites, obviously you do. But any rapper that you can name, to me, they don't come close to Tupac. They don't come close to the notoriety he had when he was on this earth. None. There's not one rapper you can say has the notoriety that Pac had. Even now, I'm just putting these things out here to get another perspective of, what could have happened to him, why he's not alive today. And I'll be back soon. I'm shutting down the shop. Thank you for your time and attention. Appreciate it very much. And I'll see you in the next video.